Why do I feel like this one's gonna be the most controversial one yet? What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel and to another video. Today we are continuing on with my series on ships, and today we're going to be doing a tier list of ships for my fourth favorite character, which is Nezuko. Got my Nezuko cardigan on and I am ready. Before we dive in, a couple of disclaimers. First things first, these are all just my opinions. I promise you it is not a personal attack on you or anyone else. If you disagree with me, that is totally fine. Just keep it respectful in the comments. Second disclaimer, this video will contain manga spoilers through the end of the story. In order for me to discuss about my honest thoughts and opinions on ships, I must discuss things that happen at the end of the manga. So if you have not read the manga and you do not want to get spoiled, now is the time to turn this off, put a pin on it, and come back after you've read the manga. But that's all the disclaimers, so we're gonna dive right in. But before we do, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment your thoughts. We are oh so close to 100,000 subscribers. I can literally taste it. So if you are not subscribed and you want to be a part of 2026, it's gonna be an amazing year. I have so many fun things coming. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. But here we go. Also, for some reason, there's no Nezuko ship tier list already made either, like it was with Inosuke, but I was struggling to make this one, so I actually just grabbed one that's for like a bunch of ships. So you're gonna see some non-Nezuko ships start to pop up in this area down here. I'm not gonna be including them in this video. Okay, Genya and Nezuko. I like this one. I love all of the memes of how like younger siblings, right? Like Tanjiro and Sanemi are always fighting, always mad at each other. And then Genya and Nezuko are like, hey, hey, hey. Like, it's super adorable. I really, really like this. My one issue, and this has been a theme if you've been watching this series or if this is your first one, I'll give you the TDLR. When it comes especially to shipping a teenager, like a child in my book, because I'm 29, I tend to lean towards like canon ships or just ships where both of them live post-canon, because I need to be able to imagine them both getting older and like developing a relationship at that point in their life as they get a little bit older and past this like time of being demon slayers, or a demon in Nezuko's case. So my biggest issue with Genya and Nezuko is simply the fact that Genya does not survive. Otherwise, I would really, really, really like this ship. So we're gonna put it in A. Like, I like it. It's very, very cute. I don't really have any issue with it. I like the idea of it. I just think that I can't imagine it post-canon, which sucks. Genya deserved better. So next is Senjuro and Nezuko. I kind of love it. How old is Senjuro though? Because I feel like he seems so much younger than Kyojuro. So according to Google, he seems roughly 14, which is the same age as Nezuko. So, okay, I just want to make sure, because they draw Senjuro to seem like quite a bit younger than Kyojuro, who's 20. So I was like, how old is he supposed to be? 14, love it. I have nothing wrong with this ship. Honestly, low-key, do I like it better than a certain other ship that I'll talk about it? I don't know. I'm putting it in S. I love it. There's literally nothing about this that I don't like, and I love the idea of Nezuko ending up with a Rengoku. It's okay. It's just like the stars align. I love it. Nezuko and Makomo. Okay, I see why some people would ship this, and it makes sense. And Makomo, I've talked about this in all my other videos. Makomo is one of those characters where it's like, okay, ship her with the kids. Personally, Makomo is more of a just ship her with kids. Sabito, like I ship with Giyu, because it's like, okay, well, they were the same age, so if he lived, then he would be 21. Makomo's a little bit more difficult than that. On top of that, not only do I think, like, obviously, Nezuko was asleep the entire time Tanjiro was training when he interacted with Makomo at all. But I don't think Makomo left a big enough impression on him to even bring her up. Like, Nezuko wouldn't even know of her existence, in my opinion. I don't see it. I don't see it, really. I'll put it in B, because it's not like it's bad or I genuinely dislike it for any reason. I just feel like it's kind of meh to me. And then these are sisters. Mitsuri is 19, Nezuko is 14. We're not shipping them together. Nezuko and Aoi. Hold up. Why am I suddenly like, my eyes are opening to all these options? I really like this. My only issue is that Aoi kind of like takes on a very caregiver role with Nezuko a lot. That's like my only, and I don't really mind that much. Like she also was a caregiver for Inosuke and I ship that, so like it doesn't really matter. I'm putting that in S. I like it. I like it. Nezuko's another tough character. I feel like I don't think about romance with her that much, but at the same time, like there's a lot of pairings where I'm like, okay, cool. I like it. I like it. Nezuko and Kanao, okay. I like this one slightly less than Nezuko and Aoi, and that is simply because I prefer Kanao with Tanjiro. If you watch my video, Tanjiro ships was my very first one that I did because he's my favorite character. They are my OTP of the entire story. Again, because I love the way that they would be growing up anyway. And I also tend to really care most about ships that involve my favorite character. So that being said, I still think it's really cute. I just see them a little bit more, like I like the idea of them being sisters. A little more sisters than in love, but it's still very cute. I still really like it, so we'll put it in A. No cap. Did I just say no cap? Oh my god. By the way, people keep calling me out for doing this. This is just like a normal thing with my hands. I'm not doing 6-7. I'm a millennial, okay? Like I'm not, That's ew, obviously. Nezuko and Inosuke. Okay, I did this one with my Inosuke video. I'm gonna put this in B, and that is because Inosuke genuinely canonically really looks at her like a big sister slash mom, right? Like we see in the 1 year later chapter that he's like attached to her, but in a very like son to mother look. Even Tanjiro's like, it's like a child with their mother. So very much more family coded to me than romance coded. I like the dynamic of siblings between them way more. So we're just gonna say that if you ship it, then ship it. Like I don't really care if you ship it. I just, like it's more family coded to me. And speaking of family coded, siblings, no. Okay, I'm going to try and get through this one without being too intense. So Zenitsu and Nezuko, I will put it in S because I do like that they end up together. At first, I was a bit indifferent to it. I will say this. So I have been pretty upfront about the fact that Zenitsu is not my favorite. I love every member of the Kamaboko squad an immense amount. Zenitsu is definitely the one I like the least. And it's not because I think that his character is bad or anything like that. I just genuinely don't love him as much. I find him annoying quite a lot. I don't care that people love him. My best friend, he's his favorite character. My other best friend, he's her like second favorite character. Okay, like they both like him way more than they like Tanjiro, and we're best friends. Like it does not matter to me. It's just personally like my own preference. I tend to not love the characters that are constantly the gag, right? I think Zenitsu is more of a victim of the trope of having to have that character that's like super screamy and crying and loud and like kind of a womanizer, right? This is not to say that his actions are fine, because the way he speaks about women is not fine, and the way he tries to touch them when he can is not fine. However, Zenitsu is a very complex character. Zenitsu is a character that was taken advantage of by many women, and he doesn't know how to really act around them. And in the manga, it's not nearly as bad. The anime makes it even worse. And whenever I'm like thinking about these characters, I'm really thinking about them manga-wise because that's their technical true canon. The anime is an adaptation of the source material. So while it's like canon, they also fluff up his annoyance a lot. Like his character in the manga is still annoying at times, but it's way, way, way less. So I think that like he's one of those characters that's like a true disservice about him, like the way they've done it in the anime and that sort of thing. That being said, like his actions are still not good, but I believe people have an opportunity to learn. So the reason why I like this ship is because they are going to grow up. Zenitsu is going to grow up. He's going to learn. Tanjiro is going to sit down and have a serious heart-to-heart with him and say, you cannot keep acting like this. We already kind of see that in the 1 year later chapter. So I think that Zenitsu is very misunderstood. I don't think he's as bad as people say, where it's like he's a pred. I can't say the full word because YouTube's weird, but I don't think it's that bad. I think we can't just forgive him for his actions because they're not right, but at the same time, he is not like, he doesn't physically touch Nezuko or anything like that. Like, it's not like he's truly forcing himself upon her. He's just very obsessive about her, and he has to get older and he has to learn. The other thing is, I see a lot of people say their age gap is weird because she's 12. She is not 12, okay? People think, like Daki says that demons don't grow old, and people think that means they don't age. They are still chronologically aging. They just they don't have the effects of aging, okay? So like, yeah, Daki, which I'm about to talk about here, is like, to me, mentally 13, but she is 113. Her body is 113 years old. She is just a demon, so she doesn't have the side effects of age because she's not human. Nezuko also has the ability to change her body at will based off of her feelings, right? She can grow into an adult woman, she can be like a toddler size, and it usually is dependent on her environment. If she's with Tanjiro and she feels safe and happy and they're just playing, she like kind of converts to really young because it's like her comfort. If she's fighting and she's, you know, wanting to protect and that sort of thing, she's like an adult woman. Anyway, I think there's a lot more to it than just demons don't age. They do age. They don't have the effects of aging, and that's very different. On top of that, Nezuko turns back into a human. She is the only demon outside of Tanjiro, who only is a demon for a few minutes, that is a demon for a long period of time and then turns back into a human. She is not a 12-year-old girl when she turns back into a human. She is 14, okay? I don't know why this has become such a thing where it's like, now we're trying to make this canonship a problem. It's not a problem. You can sit here and say, yes, a lot of the actions that Zenitsu does is wrong, but you don't have to go so far as to say that their ship is a problem or problematic because of it. He does have to learn, he has to grow. Characters have flaws for a reason. He's going to learn and grow from it. My biggest issue is that in the canon material, he doesn't fully learn and grow from it, but I can say he's going to get older, and we already see a change in that in the 1 year later chapter. So I don't want to talk about this for far too long because it is a very nuanced and complex topic, truly. And as someone who doesn't love Zenitsu that much, I still love this ship. It is not my favorite canon ship. I think it's my least favorite of like the 3 main canon ships that come out of the Kamaboko squad, but I like it. So, and I think a lot of people just want to jump to conclusions with Zenitsu, and I think it's just a lot more complicated than that. So, all right, moving on. Nezuko and Daki. So I'm not going to put it in ew because, like I said, like for Daki, especially because she's like mentally still very like a teenager, and then she reverts back to a teenager the moment she dies. And that's where it's like different than Nezuko. Nezuko, when she gets turned back into a human, is 14. She's clearly like aged up, like she's representing like much older than when she is like a childlike demon. Daki goes back to the 13-year-old her because she never really moved on from that. So I still don't like it. I don't like human X demon. I know this is demon X demon because Nezuko's a demon, but people are always like, when you say you don't like human X demon, what about Nezuko with people? And it's like, well, Nezuko's the exception because in my brain she's a human. Like, she's different, okay? I don't like this because it includes Tanjiro. I don't like this because shipping Muzan with any of the like slayers is weird, not to mention, yeah, very strange. Okay, final one. Muichiro and Nezuko. So this is going to be pretty much the exact same feeling as Nezuko and Genya. I like it. There's a big issue. He doesn't live on. They have a very cute dynamic. I would honestly put it in S if he lived. I'm tempted to put it in S now because I think I like it better than Genya. Okay, I'm putting it in S. I like it. What can I say? I really like this ship. I think it's adorable. They're both so like silly and I love them actually. He just doesn't live, which is rough, buddy. Anyway, there are my ships for Nezuko. Yay! I'm surprised I put so many in S. I didn't realize there's a lot of ships that I'm very open to for Nezuko. I think Nezuko has the same issue as Inosuke, but in the opposite way, where it's like, oh, that's cute, oh, that's cute, oh, that's cute, oh, that's cute. And since I don't have like super strong feelings about her canon ship, outside of, obviously, I think that's like the longest I've talked about a ship so far in this series. It's because like Zenitsu is a very complex character. There you have it. There's my ship tier list for Nezuko. Next character is going to be a surprise. I know a lot of you have been asking me for characters, but I'm just going down my list of favorites. That being said, I don't know where to go from my top 4 is kind of my top 4, and then the rest I all love, but I don't know exactly where to place them. I do know it's going to be an adult, and I do know that I'm going to probably do a few adults after this because I've only done 1 adult so far, and like I said, because I'm an adult, sometimes the kids, it's hard. The adults, there's a lot more room for like options. So anyway, I'll see you in the next one as a surprise. But that's gonna be it for today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment your thoughts, and I will see you all in the next one. Mata ne!